America's vital interests in space lost out to special interests in Washington, except, of course, for the senators and congressmen here. They would never do it, right, Dana? But all of that is changing. We know that. My administration is reclaiming America's heritage as the world's greatest spacefaring nation. The essence of the American character is to explore new horizons and to tame new frontiers. But our destiny beyond the Earth is not only a matter of national identity, but a matter of national security. So important for our military, so important, and people don't talk about it. When it comes to defending America, it is not enough to merely have an American presence in space. We must have American dominance in space. So important. Very importantly, I'm hereby directing the Department of Defense and Pentagon to immediately begin the process necessary to establish a Space Force as the sixth branch of the armed forces. That's a big statement. We are going to have the Air Force and we are going to have the Space Force, separate but equal. It is going to be something so important. General Dunford, if you would carry that assignment out, I would be very greatly honored also. Where's General Dunford? General?
Hey, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. So I wanted to briefly touch on the subject of this new Space Force, which the President of the United States has just ordered the creation of. Many of you, most of you have probably seen this on mainstream news. It's all over the web. But if you haven't, well, in a nutshell, a couple of days ago, President Trump ordered the Pentagon to begin establishing a so-called Space Force, with the goal of furthering America's space programs and its dominance of space. While addressing the National Space Council in Washington, the president announced a number of initiatives, including a push to establish a permanent presence on the moon with an eye to a manned Mars mission, but the biggest one was the creation of this new branch to operate what the president termed Forbidden Skies, declaring that America was the first in flight, the first to the moon, and will always be first in space. And that it is not enough for just an American presence in space, but an American dominance, declaring it a matter of national security. And so the president has directed the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff to begin preparations for making this Space Force a separate but equal branch of the U.S. military alongside the Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, and Coast Guard. But if you've also been following the story, it seems like most people in the government and pretty much across the board are unanimously against this, at least the ones in government, because a lot of you, I'm sure, will love this. Heck, anything that has to do with space, I'm for it. If it's getting us back to space, getting us to the moon again, getting us to Mars, as well as protecting us, then, I'm all for it. But there's a lot of critics I've been noticing in the government who are extremely against this Space Force, and it's kind of made me wonder why. Why are people on both sides of the aisle so against this? And well, my main thought is, and I've discussed this here on the channel in the past, is that there has long been, for years now, and there's proof of, a long-standing secret space program that is vastly more advanced than anything that we could imagine. And I think that a lot of these people in the government, as well as the military who are vehemently against this Space Force, well, they know this fact to be true, and they know that there has been a so-called Space Force, as you could call it, or secret space program that was created and instituted years ago and continues to be funded to this day by black budget dollars. And when you look into this, and I'll try to find the video I posted about some of these secret space programs and the theories of their existence, one of the most popular, and that I'd say we have the most evidence of, is something you may have heard of called Solar Warden. Now, according to the Solar Warden theory, And what the evidence suggests is that there is a secret fleet of spaceships that keeps a permanent presence in our solar system. Theories differ as to what the purpose is of this top-secret space fleet. Some believe that it patrols the outer reaches of space and defends us against any would-be alien attacks. Others believe that the project is being used to colonize parts of the solar system, possibly of the so-called elite. And while skeptics argue that to fund such a fleet, assuming for 1 minute that we had managed to lay our hands on the technology, it would cost billions upon billions, if not trillions of dollars. However, others argue that aside from just the black budget, there is another, even deeper, underground black budget that has been and continues to be used to fund this operation, not to mention that some of this technology used is a result of reverse-engineered alien craft. Furthermore, as I've always said, and it's not just me, many whistleblowers over the years have also stated that whatever space tech or aircraft tech that we have today is nothing compared to what we really have, and that our secret aircraft that the public do not know about are some 20, 30, 50 years more advanced than anything we have at this moment. Furthermore, one of the biggest pieces of evidence and proof for the Solar Warden theory all leads back to the day when a British citizen by the name of Gary McKinnon hacked into NASA's hard drives, perpetrating what was later said to be, quote, the biggest military computer hack of all time, where McKinnon himself admitted that once he was into the computer system, he uncovered a set of files that were related to Solar Warden, photographs of unidentified flying objects that seem to have been snapped above the Earth out in space, as well as a secret list of, quote, off-world officers. Or in other words, officers not of this Earth and that are not on this Earth. Now, whether that means alien officers or whether that means human officers that are in space, it was a list. And Mr. McKinnon, since the early 2000s, has been fighting extradition to the United States, who have been attempting to get him over here so they can lock him up for what he did. Theresa May finally withdrew her extradition order, and so Gary was allowed to stay in the UK. And this is a well-documented case. You can just look up anything about Gary McKinnon. We've posted videos about him in the past. This was real. He did this. He broke into NASA's computer systems. He uncovered lists of off-world officers, photographs of UFOs taken in space, and other evidence that would indicate that these secret space programs have been in existence for years now. And so that is why I think there is so much pushback to President Trump's new Space Force, because you'll also know that just being the President of the United States, you do not have a high enough security clearance to know about certain things, specifically regarding aliens, UFOs, secret space programs. And in fact, the presidency is actually, much lower on the poll when it comes to these high security clearances. There's many more that go above his head. So it may be a matter of him simply not knowing about it, but that's just my theory. The evidence certainly shows we've been in space for a while now. And well, what do you guys think about this new Space Force? Are you for it? Are you against it? Why do you think there's so much pushback? And is there another reason, a more secretive reason, why Trump is attempting to get this Space Force set up so quickly? Does he know something that we don't? And that requires a very quick need to get this Space Force set up and running quick. Is there something out there in space that we need to be protected from? Give me your opinions down below, and stay tuned because I've got more videos in the works. Be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell. Go and check out our merch, grab a Secure Team shirt or hoodie, look sharp, and support this search for truth. You guys stay safe, and I'll see you back in just a bit.